Welcome everyone to this series on solutions of chapter 4 simple equations. If you want to go through the concepts of this chapter, you can go to my playlist section. There you will find class 7th online classes. Now let's start. Question 1. Complete the last column of the table. In this we are given a table where, suppose I take the first part, they have given an equation x plus 3 is equal to 0. Then second, they have given us a value, and the value given by them is x equal to 3. The third column that we have to fill, we have to tell whether the equation is satisfied or not. We have to tell whether this value x equal to 3 is satisfying our equation or not. For that, we just have to put this value of x in the left hand side and check whether the answer that we are getting is equal to RHS or not. So let's start. So we'll write putting x is equal to 3 in left hand side. What will we get? We have left side x plus 3. When we put the value in bracket, we have put the value of x as 3, then we have a plus sign, then we have a 3. Further solving it, if you open the bracket, it will come as 3 only. So 3 plus 3 is 6, which is not equal to the right hand side that we have, not equal to 0, that is RHS. As LHS is not equal to RHS, therefore x equal to 3 is not a solution of given equation. This way we can check for other parts also. Let us take part number 3rd, because second part is very much similar. You can try on your own. Third part is x plus 3 is equal to 0, and they want us to check on value x equal to minus 3. Let us check this time. Again, as I told you, this is left hand side which is on the left of equal to mark, and this is right hand side which is on the right of equal to mark. Now same thing, put value x equal to minus 3 in the left hand side and see what you are getting. So first write the left hand side. You are having left hand side as x plus 3 only. Now in the place of x we will put minus 3 in bracket, then we have a plus sign, then we have a plus 3. So if you open the bracket, it will come out as minus 3 plus 3. So if you see, they are of different sign, so they will cancel each other and answer will be 0, because 3 minus 3 is 0, and luckily this is equal to our right hand side. Hence this value x is equal to minus 3 is satisfying our equation. So the third part, you can say this value is satisfied. Now if we take, suppose, fifth part is saying equation given is x minus 7 is equal to 1, and they want us to check on x is equal to 8. Again same thing, we will take the left hand side, put this value in the left hand side and see whether the answer coming is equal to right hand side or not. So when we put the value, you will write the same language, putting value x is equal to, sorry, it is plus 8 only, in the given equation left hand side. We will get, in the place of x I will put bracket 8, then I have a minus sign, plus 7. Further solving it, 8 minus 7 is equal to 1, which is equal to our right hand side. You can see RHS is 1 only, so we can say therefore x equal to 8 is a solution of given equation. So they are same thing. Whether you say it is a solution or whether you say it is satisfying the equation. They both are the same thing. Okay, now let's take next example. Suppose seventh part. In the seventh part, we have 5x is equal to 25. 5x is equal to 25. Again, this is our left hand side, this is our right hand side, and this time they want us to check on x is equal to 5. Let's start. Same thing, putting value x is equal to 5 and left hand side, we get, first of all, the left side is 5x. You just have to replace x with the value that you are putting. So this value will come in this place, and you can see they both are getting multiplied. So you can write like this in bracket 5. So you can see I have written like this. If you write like this, that is also okay. Okay, because anything written like this also means that they are getting multiplied. Now 5 into 5 is 25, and you can see the right hand side you are having is also 25. Therefore this value is a solution of the given equation. Now let us take ninth part. Okay, before that let's take eighth part. Eighth part, same, it is 5x equal to 25. Now they want us to check at x equal to minus 5. So again, putting x equal to minus 5 in the left hand side, what will we get? 5 bracket, in the place of x we will put now minus 5. Please note that if you write like this, it will be wrong, because it means 5 minus 5, but we have to multiply these two. So this is the correct way, 5 bracket minus 5. This means they both are getting multiplied. Now we all know when bracket will open, this negative will remain here only. So we will have 5 into minus 5. Further, when we multiply two numbers, 5 5s are 25. As there is only one negative sign, so it will remain, because we have studied in the chapter integers, if we multiply two numbers and both having negative sign, number comes as positive, because there are even number of negative signs. But if I multiply like this, 2 into minus 2, I get minus 4. So in this case we got minus 25, which is not equal to 25, which is our right hand side. So therefore x equal to minus 5 does not satisfy given equation, or you can say it is not at all a solution of given equation. Now let's take ninth part. M upon 3 is equal to 2. Now they want us to check at m equal to minus 6. Same procedure, putting the value on the left hand side. This is the left hand side and this is the right hand side. So putting m is equal to minus 6 in the left hand side, what will we get? Again, whenever we put a new value, we should always put in a bracket so that we can see the after effects of signs. So minus 6 upon 3 we have. If you open the bracket, negative will remain, and if you cut this, you get 3 2s are 6 and minus is already there. So answer is minus 2, which is not equal to right hand side. So we can say this is not a solution of given equation. So let us take now the last part, that is 11th part. Question is same with different values they want us to check. So you can see m upon 3 is equal to 2. They want us to check at m is equal to 6. Let's see, same procedure, putting m is equal to 6 in the left hand side. What will we get? Putting in bracket first, bracket 6 upon 3. So if you solve this, bracket open, 6 we have got, 3 2s are 6, so answer is 2, which is our right hand side. Therefore m is equal to 6 is a solution of given equation. You are free to watch the concepts which I have taught in online classes, so that will help you a lot in understanding these questions. Now question number 2, anytime you can go to the playlist over there and you can watch that lecture. Question number 2, check whether the values given in brackets is a solution to given equation or not. It is a similar kind of question. Here they have also given you some values that you have to check. Suppose I take B part, 7n plus 5 is equal to 19. This is the equation, because here we have a left hand side, here we have a right hand side, and a equal mark. This is called a equation. We have to check on value n is equal to minus 2 whether this is a solution, yes or no. We have to check this thing. To check this, simple way, you have to take either the left side, and on the left side you can put the value of variable. After solving, if you get the answer as 19, then that means it is a solution. Let's start. Again, same language, putting n is equal to minus 2 in the left hand side. What will we get? Before putting, I have always told you, wherever you have the variable, put the values in bracket. Okay. Now, so we have 7 into minus 2. We all know 7 2s are 14, and as there is only one negative sign in the multiplication process, which is an odd number, we have to keep the negative sign. So answer is 7 minus 2s are 14, which is of negative sign, and we have a plus 5 sign. Now we have simple difference of numbers. In this case you can see 14 minus 5 is how much? Yes, it is 9, but sign of larger number will come, as larger number is negative 14, so hence answer is minus 9, which is not equal to 19. Therefore you can say n equal to minus 2 is not a solution of this equation. Okay. Now if we see D part, in the D part we have 4p minus 3 is equal to 13, and we have to check at p equal to 1. Similar thing, we have to put the value of p as 1 in the given equation. So putting p equal to 1 in the left hand side, what will we get? 4 bracket 1 minus 3. So if you solve this, 4 into 1 is 4 only, minus 3. The answer is 4 minus 3 is 1, which is not equal to right hand side. Therefore we can say p equal to 1 is not a solution of given equation. So now let's see the E part. E part, same equation is there. They want us to check with another value of p, which is right now minus 4. Okay. Now if you put p equal to minus 4 in this given equation, it becomes 4 bracket, sorry, minus 4. Let me write this again. So if you take 4 bracket, in the place of p you have put minus 4 minus 3. Same thing you have to write here, that putting the value of p equal to minus 4 on the left hand side, and now you will get 4 4s are 16, as there is only one negative sign, so it will remain, and it will minus 16 minus 3, answer is minus 19, which is also not equal to right hand side. So we can say this is also not a solution of the given equation. Now question number 3. Question number 3, they want us to solve the equations, solve using trial and error method. Trial and error method. This method is very primitive, still we have to learn it. In this we keep on checking the values and until we find the correct value. So you can see the first part is 5p plus 2 is equal to 17. If you see a rough idea, you can understand that if this p value I take as 1, I will get 5 ones are 5 plus 2 as 7. So still, if you want to show some steps before the correct answer, you can try like this. Let p equal to 1. So I am doing the first trial. I am taking p equal to 1 from my side and I am checking whether this is a solution or not. So let's see. If I take p equal to 1, so let's verify, put p equal to 1 in the left hand side. If we get 17, that means we are correct. So 5 bracket 1 plus 2. So 5 bracket 1 means 5 into 1. So 5 into 1 is 5 only plus 2, and when you solve you get 7, which is not equal to 17. So this was a error. This was a error. So we reject this value. Similarly, you can check for p equal to 2 also. It will also give you 5 to the 10 plus 2, 12. That will also be rejected. Now suppose I try with let p equal to 3. This is again my trial, but in my mind I know I will get the right answer because of my practice. So I will put the values. So putting p equal to 3 in the left hand side, what will I get? 5 bracket 3 plus 2. So we have taken the left hand side and we have put the value of p as 3 to check the answer coming. So 5 into 3 is 15, plus sign is there and 2 is there. 15 plus 2 is 17, and we can see it is equal to right hand side. So our this trial is the correct one. Therefore p equal to 3 is a solution to the given equation. Similar to this, you can find the second part also, which is 3m minus 14 is equal to 4. Here also you will keep on trying. Suppose you take m equal to 1, m equal to 2, m equal to 3. You can check. If you take m equal to 5, at that time also it will be 3 5s are 15 minus 14 is equal to 1 only. That means here the values of m equal to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and I guess 6 will be your answer. So these many values will be rejected. If you keep on trying like this, these many values will be rejected. So you can try only with one value and then directly try the correct answer, just to show that you have tried some numbers. Okay, now let's see question number 4. Question number 4 is very interesting question. Here we are converting English statements to mathematical statement. Mathematics is also a language where we convey our statements in the form of numbers, some operators. So that way we have to try. So the first part here is the sum of numbers x and 4 is 9. First part is saying the sum of numbers x and 4 is 9. So you can understand x and 4, the sum of numbers x and 4 is, that means equal to 9. So again I am reading the language. The sum of numbers x and 4, there are two numbers x and 4, their sum is 9. So this is the mathematical interpretation of the given statement. Similarly, if I take second part, they are saying 2 subtracted from y, 2 subtracted from y is 8. This is the English statement. We have to understand, does it mean 2 minus y or it means y minus 2? This is a bigger confusion, because in the case of addition, whether you write x plus 4 or you write 4 plus x, No problem, both are correct because addition is commutative. If you remember, in chapter number 1 we have seen whether you write 1 plus 2 or you write 2 plus 3, they both mean the same thing. They both have equal answer 3. But this doesn't mean in the case of subtraction, because 1 minus 2 is totally different from 2 minus 1. In this case answer is minus 1, in this case answer is plus 1. So here the order of number has a great, what you say, preference. You have to understand what is the order of numbers. So again read the statement and then try to understand whether it is 2 minus y or it is y minus 2. Let's start. See. So it is saying 2 subtracted from y. Something is taken from y. So y must be the number from which 2 is subtracted. That means it is wrong. It means y subtracted from 2, which is not given in the question. Question is saying 2 subtracted from y. Y is something from which this 2 is taken out. That is why it is written like y minus 2 is, that means this is means equal to 8. So this is the mathematical interpretation of given statement. I hope you got this. Now let's take the next part, third part. It is saying 10 times a is 70. So 10 times a means 10 multiplied by a will give you 70. Very simple equation. If you solve it, it becomes 10a is equal to 70. Simple. Fourth part, we have the number b divided by 5 gives 6. So again, this time we have to understand, it is saying b divided by 5. So same as the case of that addition and subtraction, we have seen that addition was commutative and subtraction was not. Similarly comes with the multiplication and division. In multiplication, if you write 2 into 3 or 3 into 2, that means the same thing. Here also 6, here also 6. But in division, that is not same, because 2 upon 3 is not equal to 3 upon 2. So you have to understand properly whether the statement means b upon 5 or it means 5 upon b. You have to check that carefully. So let's see. Let me rub this. So you have to keep in your mind these properties of commutativity that you have studied in first chapter, integers. Now the number b, this number is divided by 5. So b upon 5 gives, that is equal to 6. This is the statement. Okay. Now fifth part, 3/4 of t is 15. 3/4 of t is 15. If you understand, 3/4 of a particular thing is equal to 15. That's it. So 3/4 means 3 upon 4 multiplied with something is equal to 15. This is the statement saying, and this something is actually t given to us. So the statement should be 3t upon 4 is equal to 15. Why? Because we know in multiplication of fractions we multiply the numerators. We can take this t as t upon 1. So 4 ones are 4, 3 into t is 3t, and this is the final equation. Okay. Now let's take the sixth part. Sixth part is saying 7 times m plus 7 gives you 77. 7 times m plus 7 gives 77. So that means first we have to do this process, 7 times of m. 7 times of m means 7m. From where I got this? 7 multiplied with m is equal to 7m. From there, because we have seen 2 times 2 is 4, 3 times 3 is 9. Similarly, 7 times m will be written as 7 into m, that is 7m. One second. So first step is finding the 7m. 7m plus means plus sign, 7 gives means is equal to mark 77. This is the equation. Now let's take 7th part. 7th part is 1/4 of a number, 1/4 of a number x minus 4 gives 4. So again, first process is to find this 1/4 of a number x. It's very simple. 1/4 of a number x means this thing, 1/4 of x, because in the BODMAS we have seen this of is this one, bracket of division, multiplication, addition, subtraction. So this of is actually multiplication only. They are similar, but priority of is more than multiplication. So we have 1/4 of x minus means minus sign 4 is equal to 4. This is the mathematical statement and this is the English statement. Okay. So whenever you speak a statement, you have to take care that you are speaking in a proper way so that others are able to understand what you are saying. Okay. Now let us seek that 8th part now. 8th part is, if you take away 6 from 6 times y, if you take away 6 from 6 times y, you get 60. Again we have to understand, something is being taken away from something. So you have to understand which will come first, which will come second. So they are saying something is taken away from 6 times y. 6 times y means 6y, and something is taken away from it. Something is being subtracted from this. So this gives me an idea of the equation form. So let's try. So first of all, before minus sign we have a 6 times y. So 6 times y means 6y minus 6 is equal to 60. Again I am repeating, if you take away 6, if you take away 6 from 6 times y, you get 60. That's it. Okay. Now 9th part, that is the last part, is if you add 3 to 1/3 of z, if you add 3 to 1/3 of z, you get 30. As we have addition operation, so this time there is no issue of order. Whether you keep this first or this first, it will not change anything. Okay, because addition is commutative. But it was not correct in the case of subtraction. Whenever you see a negative sign, whenever you see a division sign, you have to be more careful of the particular order. Okay, now see. In this case, if you add 3 to 1/3 of z, so you have 1/3 of z plus 3 is equal to 30. Or if you write like 3 plus 1/3 z equal to 30, they both are same thing. If you want to multiply 1 and z, you can do that also. It can be written as z upon 3 plus 3 is equal to 30, and it can be written as finally 3 plus z upon 3 is equal to 30. That's it. No issue. Let's finish over here only. After question 5 onwards, we will be discussing in the next part of exercise 4.1. If you like the lecture, please like, share and subscribe to my channel. Thank you.